Hello. I am that I am, an embodied master in service. Today, a conversation about discernment. It's a popular topic sometimes in spiritual communities. I always hear people saying things about having discernment. I'm not a big fan of it myself. We'll get into that here today. Let's discuss why I'm not a big fan of discernment. It seems to be a strange thing to be, I wouldn't say I'm against it. I just don't prefer it. Not taking a side here. Standing behind the short wall, but let's start with the definition of discernment. That's an important thing. Maybe you should know the words you're using some days. It's something I'm becoming more observant about. We'll get into that. The definition for discernment is to judge well. That is the definition of discernment. It is to judge. It is to have an opinion. To make an opinion. To take a side, left or right, to come to a conclusion, to be that judge on the bench, looking at, are they innocent? Are they guilty? Was it right? Was it wrong? And as I said, a master doesn't take sides. A master gives up that privilege, that luxury. A master can no longer take a side. They stand behind the short wall. And they observe. They are aware. Because you could, we'll talk a little bit about the story I said, I think a few videos back. I talked, when I was 14 years old, I jumped off a cliff. Because I wasn't aware that the water was very shallow. I thought it was deeper, so I jumped off. It was the 4th of July, we were all having fun. And I wasn't really aware of what was happening and what was going on. And I just did it out of impulse. And I ended up breaking my leg and spending the 4th of July in the emergency room, getting a cast, and then being put on morphine, which was an interesting experience. And then laid up in bed for quite a while afterwards. You could say, well, I should have used more discernment. I should have made a judgment. I should have looked and noticed the water wasn't that deep. I should have had more discernment about it before I did it. I say no. Not at all. What I should have been, it was more observant, more aware of my surroundings, what was going. At that moment, I was in a focus, and I wasn't looking at what was actually around me. I prefer awareness, being observant, over discernment any day of the week. Because discernment is a judgment. It is saying something's good or it's bad, it's right or it's wrong. It's this or it's that. With observance, you see everything. Not just good or bad. You see the truth of things. You can say, oh, well, it was a bad thing that I jumped off that cliff. Maybe not. Maybe that was just an experience. I gained wisdom from it. I'm much more observant when I'm around cliffs nowadays. Much more aware. I don't just jump off anymore. All willy-nilly and all. Wasn't the last time I broke my leg, though. I broke my other leg as well. I wasn't very observant as a teenager. But I guess we can say that a lot about a lot of teenagers. But I can laugh about it now. So I would say my preference is to be observant. Observance is not a judgment. You know, you can start to observe people, to watch them, be a people watcher in a way. Watch their mannerisms. Watch how they dress, how they act, how they talk. Just observe. Be aware of them. Allow that awareness to go to it. It's not about thinking about it. It's not about putting them in categories and things of that nature. Right now, you're observing me. It's not a judgment if you say, well, I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way... Yeah, that's a judgment. You can say, I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way his hair is. His shirt's a little wrinkled or whatever it shall be. I don't think I think it's bad videos because it has no production value or whatever judgments you could make. That's fine. But now you can just be aware. Oh, his hair's a little messy. His shirt's a little wrinkled. Oh, he doesn't put production values. It's all kind of on the fly. It's all kind of organic. That's being observant. It's not a judgment. Now you can then you're allowed to have preferences. You say, well, I just don't prefer this video. I don't prefer what he's talking about. I don't prefer the way that I'm talking, the way his hair is. That's not my preference. That's fine. That's not a judgment. Preference is not a judgment unless you force it on other people. In a way, you can say, I prefer blue sweaters. Now, if I see somebody in a red sweater, I'd make a judgment, oh, they're wrong, they're bad, they're not right. That's a judgment. Now, I'd say, I prefer blue sweater. Oh, it's interesting. He's wearing a red sweater. I don't really prefer red sweaters, but interesting. That's just being observant. Because think of, put this energy into what I've talked about before. You receive what you give out. There's always a giving, there's always a receiving. If you give out observance, awareness, you start watching, observing things around you, people, animals, pets, you can observe a tree. What do you get back? More awareness, more observance. It comes to you. Be a people watcher. I found that very interesting thing when I started doing it, watching people. Just observing them. Not making a judgment what they were doing right or wrong. Just seeing how they acted, how they talked, how they moved, how they interacted with other people. Were they addicted to, start noticing things. Some people are addicted to drama. And you might come across people, in working life, I've come across people who are just addicted. They have to make drama out of everything. Not judging that they're bad or wrong for doing so, but I have a preference not to do that. I don't really care for the drama, and someone who just wants to create and churn up drama all the time because they need the energy of it. They need the emotions of it. You could say they're kind of like energetic vampires. They like to get other people churned up as well because they can feel it. They can feed off it. And they need to be in that energy all the time. They're just addicted to it. They're trying to feed it. You can be aware of that and just, that's where you can put up boundaries and things of that nature. Like, no, not going to play this game. Not going to play it whatsoever. That's the one thing that's great about being observant. You can see the games people are playing. It's not that they're bad for playing them, or they're evil or wrong. They're playing out their stories. Who they think they are and what they think life is. It kind of becomes you can kind of giggle to yourself a little time. It becomes a little bit of fun. It's not judgment to laugh at somebody. It's funny. It's comedy. Don't take life so seriously. Oh, look, there comes Jane again. She's churning up drama all around the office. Now, of course, she comes to me and starts trying to churn. Usually, I find they don't. they'll stay away from me. Because I put up that boundary, and also I've made it clear in the past that I don't play that drama game. I don't get involved with the gossip, with all the little things that they go on to, oh, that's nice. Have a great day. And I don't feed that energy back to them. Therefore, when they're looking for that feeding, that energy they want to get fed back, they'll go back to people they know will feed them back. They'll feed that, give them that feedback they want. Interesting thing to watch. To be a servant, not really a discernment. It's not a judgment on anybody. Say, Jane, hello, Eleanor. We get a visitor. Hey, baby. He always has great timing, doesn't he? He has to look out for all the other cats in the neighborhood and see if they're out and about. But there's no judgment on it. You just observe it. You just watch. And you get that back. And it comes back. Sometimes it's a nos, a knowingness, a wisdom. Yeah, that's much better than discernment. Because discernment is a mental activity. It's in the mind. Because it's dividing things up. It's cutting it into pieces, dissecting it, tearing it apart, and labeling everything. And putting things into little concrete blocks. You know, I don't go to work thinking, well, there's Jane. She's a bad person. I need to go hide in the other side of the work so she doesn't see me bringing her drum. No, I just see Jane. No, and I'm okay. Jane can do what she wants. Free country, as they say. But I won't take part of it. If she tries to bring that to me, I will shut it down. Because I won't play that game. I don't have to yell at her. I don't have to say, Jane, you know you're into drama. Humans a lot of times will not react well to that. Because they're defensive. They don't see it. Eleanor, we had a talk about this last time. He says he doesn't remember. You climb it after the video. Now I don't know what I was talking about. That's okay. We got out of the mind there for a moment. Maybe I was talking about the mind. Oh, I think so. Oh, the mind tears things apart, rips things apart, puts everything into a category. It says, this is good, this is bad, this hurts me, this makes me feel good. It's nonsensical, in a way. It doesn't have any wisdom in the mind. There's no wisdom in the mind. There's no true knowingness in the mind. The mind is just, it's kind of like a hard drive of a computer. It has a lot of data just stored in it, which is useful for certain things. And if I want to go and bake a cake, I need to go through that Rolodex, that files in the mind, and I need eggs, I need flour, I need frosting, all sugar, all that kind of stuff if I want to make a cake. I need a pan, I need some oil. I need to set the temperature to a certain degree. The mind's great for things of that nature. But it shouldn't be used for, like I said, the mind is great for the small things. For small little things you need to do. For linear movement and linear things throughout life. But it shouldn't be used to make big decisions in your life. You should always go to the heart for that. The life-changing decisions should be done from the heart. From feeling into it. Yes, you can feel what you prefer. You know, it doesn't matter what choice you make. Oh. I will always prefer the being observant or being aware over the mind, over mental thinking. That's a preference. And if you share that, hey, great. If you don't, you're not a bad person. I don't hate you. I don't think you're evil. I don't think you're wrong. I just think, well, that's where you are at this moment, and that's fine. That's what you prefer at this moment. Most of the humans on this planet prefer that. They prefer the mind over the heart. Now, most don't realize that or haven't made that conscious decision because it hasn't come to their awareness yet. That's fine. When it does, when they have their awakening, when they realize there's more than just the physicality, just those 5 common senses and the mind. That's when they'll get to make that conscious choice. But until then, it's not my job to force it, to make it happen. I'm not here to save the world. Because there's a truth in the great saying, all is well in all of creation. We'll say it again. All is well in all of creation. That's a true statement. That's a truth. Because all is well. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is bad. All is as it should be at the moment. So all is in change. All is in expansion. All is in growth. How could anything be wrong with that? So it's okay to observe things. To notice someone's wearing a wrinkled shirt to work, or someone's driving 30 miles over the speed limit. It's not a judgment unless you make it a judgment. Allow yourself to be more aware, to see the contrast, to see everything in more high definition. You don't have to judge it all. You don't have to take it all into the mind. Just feel into it. Breathe life into it. Allow your awareness to be there. Allow it to come back to you. With that wisdom and that nos, that knowingness, that grace of the I am, that grace of the soul. Because discernment is usually used in the spiritual communities to, you have to use your discernment to know if something's true or not. Oh, yeah, I like making a voice there. That's usually what they say. That's what they're usually talking about. To find out if something's true, you have to use a discernment. Is this channeling real or is it fake? It's a judgment. Now, if you have awareness, if you have you feel into it, you have that nos, you have a knowingness, that gut feeling at times. You can. That's what you open to, because that's going to be much more accurate than mental judgment, mental discernment. You know, mental discernment is what get people in a lot of trouble. They'll follow a fake guru to the end. It's happened many a times, and it will still happen many times more, probably. That's fine. It's okay. So where they're at, they're still in the mind. They're looking for something outside of them. That's why I like these conversations. Because I'm not your guru. In a way, I'm not even your teacher. Because I realize, I look at the human, I see the multidimensionalness of you. I know the greatest teacher, that great wisdom, that great nos is within you. All you have to do is unleash it. You are the teacher you've been looking for. I'm here just stirring up energies, mixing the pot up, just so it gets things moving, and then you can feel into it. You can make that, not discernment, but you can have that awareness, that realization for yourself, that nos and that knowingness for your own self. Like I said, as I say, if it doesn't resonate with you, keep going, move on. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Enlightenment, choosing enlightenment above everything else in this lifetime is not for everybody. There's certain people who will want it, and certain people it won't resonate with. That's fine. And even if you want that in this lifetime, you're choosing it and you don't prefer me, that's fine as well. There's other teachers, other people having conversations. And there'll be more and more of them coming along here soon. Perhaps you will prefer one of them. That is fine. I won't be upset. That's not a judgment on me. It's just your preference. And I can be okay with that. Same thing, I don't prefer to hang out with Jane, the name I used for work, whatever it was, the drama queen. That I would not prefer to do. I wouldn't, not stay away, not hide from it, but I would not get active in it. If Jane wants to have her drama, I'd be like, have a nice day, see you later. I'm not going to call her out for it usually, unless they come and ask me. Because, I've said before, I love to piss people off. I loved a little bit of excitement, movement of energy. It can really get some energies moving. But only if they come to me. That's kind of a secret. Because if you realize everything comes to you, they have to come and ask for it. They have to come and say, hey, I don't know, people don't seem to like me. See, what's going on here? I seem to be falling in this same pattern. Well, you're a drama queen. That's when I would say, well, you love drama, don't you? It's like, what do you mean? That's when you could have that conversation. But to do it without them asking for it, without them opening up for it, there's no compassion in that. Same thing, going and telling someone you need to become enlightened, there's no compassion in that. They have to come to you. They have to say, I want this, I'm interested, or at least come and say, well, I'm not sure right now, but I'm a little interested in the energies. That's fine. And you're like, okay, you can stay for a while, play around, but at some point you gotta leave. At some point, if you don't really want enlightenment, you shouldn't be watching these videos. Because it stirs up a lot of energies, and consciousness only expands. It doesn't attract, so you can't go back to what you were before. So when you start stirring up all these energies and keep going and feeling into things and opening things up, you can't close them back off. You can pretend to, but there's going to be that nagginess. So at some point you're like, yeah, it's get on the pot or get off. Shoot. Get on or get off. At some point you have to make that decision. But I can't make it for you. That's a decision you have to make for yourself. So don't come asking me, well, should I choose enlightenment? I can't tell you that. You're asking me, I'll tell you no. Because you have to choose it yourself. Go away until you choose it. I will not force anybody to do anything. I will not make you come in light. I can't do it. Even if I had the ability to do it, I wouldn't do it. Because there's no compassion. That's force, that's control, and it's manipulation, that's power. It's icky stuff. Not a fan of it. Alright. I think we're going to end the video there today. I guess we say, be less discerning and be more observant. Just be aware. Watch people. See how energies react to one another. Watch how your conversation affects somebody else. Or how two people having a conversation affects them. Just watch the energies. Just be observant. You'll be surprised what you get back. Wish you all a wonderful day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day, but thank you all once again.